Underneath a lantern by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to
The song was made popular in Germany by a young woman called Lale Andersen, and all she ever wanted to do was to sing, and she was quite taken aback when it became such a firm favourite of the German army and then the British army and everyone else. And she was not a politically aware person particularly, and she was tolerated by the Nazi hierarchy because she was useful. She was a morale booster to the troops. But one day she made a mistake. She travelled to neutral Switzerland and she went to see one of her ex-lovers, Hans Liebermann, Jewish. And the Gestapo were following her. So when she came back to Germany, she was interrogated and told to have no contact whatsoever with Hans Liebermann. She wasn't having that. She tried to make a run for it. She tried to get on a train from Munich to neutral Switzerland, but the Gestapo were following her and she was arrested at the railway station. And she was slapped about a bit, and she was threatened with the concentration camp. She was placed under house arrest, which meant she wasn't allowed to work. And in Nazi Germany, that meant you weren't allowed to eat. And it was only the generosity of friends that kept her alive. But the BBC got hold of this story, and they put it in their propaganda broadcast to the German troops. Did you know that the original Lili Marleen is in a way to a concentration camp? The hierarchy were highly alarmed at this, so they decided she had to be allowed to sing to the troops. But they said to her, "You will not sing Lili Marleen. If you dare to sing Lili Marleen, going straight to the concentration camp." And so they had a concert with 300 or 400 German troops listening to Lale Andersen sing. And of course, they demanded Lili Marleen. "Give us Lili Marleen," they said, which put the young woman in a dilemma. If she sang it, a one-way ticket to the concentration camp. If she didn't sing it, she was betraying the only thing she cared about. So that young woman had a very bright idea. She looked at the audience and she said, "I've sang that song so many times. Why don't you? Why don't you sing it to me?" So a packed hall of German soldiers stood up and sang their hearts out. And to those who are deluded enough to believe that all worship has to be serious and solemn, and that popular culture has no place in worship, look at that.
Underneath a lantern by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. 'Twas there that you whispered tenderly that you loved me. You'd always be my lily of the lamplight, my own Lili Marleen. Time would come for roll call, time for us to part. Darling, I'd caress you and press you to my heart, and then in that far-off lantern light, I'd hold you tight, we'd kiss goodnight, my lily of the lamplight, my own Lili Marleen. Orders came for sailing somewhere over there, all confined to barracks. 'Twas more than I could bear. I knew you were waiting in the street. I heard your feet, but could not meet my Lili. just behind the line. Even though we're parted, your lips are close to mine. You wait where that lantern softly gleams. Your sweet face seems to haunt my dreams, my Lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marleen.
Thank you.
Underneath a lantern by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. 'Twas there that you whispered tenderly that you loved me. You'd